Hey, what's up, you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring you my weekly review.
Hey, what's up, you guys? Bloody Jacob here, meeting my icon, Catherine Isabel here.
Across the streams of hopes and dreams where things are really not. Come along if you can. Come along if you dare.
Have a good one. Cheers, guys.
But please realize you'll probably be surprised.
Hey, what's up, you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring you my weekly review of the fifth and final season of the originals on the CW, which is episode 8, The Kindness of Strangers. So yeah, full speed ahead to the final few episodes of the originals. We got about 5 episodes left, I believe. And like I said in the past couple reviews, this season's really kicking it up into a pretty high gear right now. It's really delivering on a lot of emotional character beats that I was hoping for in the original's final season. As I've said before, Klaus is one of my all-time favorite characters in anything. I played on my mind how his final story would go so many times, and I guess I'm pretty happy with what they're doing so far. I just really think they're nailing it. I cried a little bit more in this episode. This episode is more Elijah-centric, but also tied into everyone. It was especially good to have Claire Holt back as Rebecca, along with Cole. I'd like to think we'll see them again this season, at least a couple more times, or hopefully one more time. I'd hope more, but we'll see. But we have Elijah and the others trapped in his own psyche, and it's a bit of a mystery for part of the episode as to who did it. At first I think it's Vincent, but then it turns out to actually be part of what Hope's trying to do to try and bring all evil into her. She's sort of trying to self-sacrifice herself in a way. Of course, there's more details to that, but still, and of course Klaus doesn't want to have that. And then you even find out that Freya had sort of helped set this up as well, because she also wants some kind of change with what's happened with Elijah. This is a very Elijah-centric episode, and we knew it kind of had to be, because after what happened to Haley, we knew it was only a matter of time before Elijah would get his memories back somehow, and it would just hit him like a fucking rock. Excuse my language there, but it really does. Daniel Gillies, he did a really, really nice job in this episode. They let go for a little bit of course, he eventually does regain his memories when they escape the world. There's 5 or so keys that they have to find that are tied to their own sort of regrets or just important pieces of their lives. What also really hit me in the episode is Klaus going through the letters that Haley sent him about, taking care of Hope each day and stuff like that. That was really well done. Again, Joseph Morgan. He's one of the best actors I've ever seen. Joseph Morgan, John Bernthal, and some others. Teen Choice Awards voting just went up last night. The Originals has been nominated for Sci-Fi and Fantasy Series, as well as Joseph Morgan being nominated for Lead Actor. But in my opinion, Joseph Morgan should have won an Emmy a long time ago. That's the caliber of actor I think he is. But anyway. But yeah, him reading through the letters, it was really touching. And he almost starts kind of sobbing in a way, too. It's regret of all of the moments that will never be without Haley there anymore, without Hope's mother. All the ones they won't have, and just the regret that he couldn't have done something else to save her and have her still there for Hope. But I think he really did care quite a bit about the little wolf himself personally. And, maybe this is just me, my shipping mind trying to think, but I think there's a possibility at some point down the road if Haley had survived, maybe her and Klaus could work something out and been together again, for Hope. I don't know. But either way, I just always loved the bond and the deep sort of love there still was between the two that sort of came back, whichever way it was. So that was especially touching, and I really loved all the flashbacks of Haley in this episode too. And Daniel Gillies, again, I was talking about Joseph Morgan, but again, Daniel Gillies did a really good job on this episode too. I really felt it like a gut punch when he remembered what happened to Haley and how he didn't do anything to protect her, and that just broke him. That broke him, as it should have. We see him suit up at the end of the episode and sort of stand, in the swamp area, with the wolves and everything like that, just overlooking the water. So Elijah's journey is going to be interesting this episode, and Klaus does give him the antidote, his blood to heal Antoinette. Pretty curious about what they're going to do with Antoinette for the rest of the season, because of course Elijah being Elijah, he still does give her the cure. But he says I'm sorry and walks away, because she knew at that point that he had his memories back. And there's no way, I don't think he's ever going to let himself be with her fully, because it represents... I'm sure a part of Elijah still does care for Antoinette, but there's no way he's going to let himself be with her, because it'll just remind him of how he wasn't there for Haley, the woman he really loved. But I think Antoinette might still have some kind of role to play this season. I'm just not sure what, with her mother being dead. So I'm curious about what they're going to do with her now. Jamie Murray's still really good, knocking it out of the park, too. Like I said, it's great to have Claire Holt, Rebecca back. I like her in the end of Klaus hugging. Her and Marcel's scenes are pretty good too. Of course, she says, this is why he's good being a vampire, because he chose this, he wanted this. When Marcel tries to get her to realize all the good they have, everything they get to see because they live forever. Meanwhile, Rebecca, she wishes she could turn into an old lady, with spots on her hands. Fogginess in her eyes, and just sort of wither away eventually, and they live a real full life. But Marcel sees it the other way, so Rebecca doesn't want to drag him down with her anger and sadness. So I feel like the issue between the two is still kind of dragged out a little bit. See how that plays out. I'm kind of wondering what they're going to do with Rebecca, for the end of the series too. Because, like I said, they can't have many of the Michelsons alive, unfortunately, for the spin-off legacies. Because Elijah and especially Klaus are both like trump cards. Because if Hope gets into trouble, then the writers can't. They can't have the possibility of Klaus just being out there to swoop in and kill whatever. They can't make it that easy. So I'm wondering what they're gonna do with everyone. It has me nervous, but really, really intrigued. So yeah, oh yeah, and probably my favorite flashback of the episode. A lot of it took place during season 1. Things we supposedly didn't see, but it still all made sense. I just felt like things things that happened not to be included, but it all felt stitched together pretty well into what we did see originally. But when apparently they came up with Hope's name, and it had to do with Elijah saying she's the last hope of the family and stuff like that. And Klaus and Haley are trying to come up with a name for the baby. Haley's throwing around some names. She says Catherine. And then Klaus goes, "Oh God, no." He doesn't want anything reminding him of Katerina Petrova. So that's fun. Catherine and Haley are probably my two favorite females in the world of this show. That and the Vampire Diaries and such. So that was a funny reference to that, because of their history and Catherine being on the run, and I'm sure Klaus knew what a handful she was. So, that's quite funny, but also really, really touching as well. Again, I talked about my Klaus and Haley feelings earlier. I made a whole tribute video to it. So, really good episode. I'm sure there's more I could talk about, and that's why you can leave a comment below and we can talk more about it. I'm giving this episode between 9.1 9.3 out of 10. Just a really phenomenal, like I said, emotional character beats continuing. I'm really very, very, very pleased with how they're handling these last few episodes. Like I said, about 5 more left. Oh boy. So yeah, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.